In today's Schrade Saturday video, we're going to take a look at a knife which I think has the potential to be a really good all-around budget folder. That's the SCH003, coming up next on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name is Brian. Thanks for joining me. So the folks at Schrade were kind enough to send me one of their SCH003 folding knives so I could show it to you. And basically I went through the Schrade catalog a while back and picked out some designs which I thought looked interesting, I thought you would like. And one of the criteria I used in making my selections was I wanted to cover a range of prices. Well, this knife is on the lower end of the price range. The Amazon price of this knife is like 16 bucks. Very lightweight, seems like a very solid, all-around capable knife. And we're going to test that out in a minute and find out. But before we do that, let's just talk about the specs of this thing real quick, and then we'll get to doing some of that knife stuff. So first of all, this is a liner lock design. It's got ambidextrous thumb studs and a rear flipper. Now this is kind of new. I've only played with it a little while, so it's not really broken in completely, but you can flick it with your thumb and open it with just a little bit of extra wrist action. But it's also got a flipper on back that you can do the same thing, just a little extra action. It opens right up one-handed. So you can either just open it like normal, like so, or if you want to flick it open, you can. The flipper works really well, and it's part of the blade, so it disappears. Speaking of the blade, this blade is a 4.71 inch or 11.98 centimeter, sort of a drop point blade of HCR13 MOV high carbon stainless steel. And they're what they're calling PP and GF handles. Honestly, it feels like TPE to me, just kind of like rubberized, very, very soft kind of and grippy. It's really, really grippy, which thankfully means you don't need any kind of jimping on this knife to get a good grip on it. I like the fact there's no jimping. It's just nice and smooth back there. A little bit of a thumb ramp right there if you want to use that, but it just feels really comfortable in your hand. And then the overall open length on the knife is 8.23 inches or 20.9 centimeters. A tip down pocket clip, but it's very deep carry. As you can see, the top of that clip actually extends a little bit above the knife, so it's very deep carry there. And when you got the knife in your hand holding it, this thing does not really bother you too much. And we're going to try some knife stuff with it and see in a minute. And then finally, it's very lightweight. It weighs just 5 ounces or 141 grams. Again, it is a liner lock, but when you open it up, it doesn't have any movement in the hinge here. I like the fact that it's an open frame design, so really easy to keep it clean. Blow it out, rinse it out, or whatever you need to do when you use it. And then it's a non-serrated, very straight, regular drop point blade, which I like. Like almost all the Schrades, it's a hollow grind, but there's zero recurve here like there sometimes is, and it just seems like a really functional knife. So that's about all the rambling I want to do about the specs. Let's take it down the old stump top now, get to doing some of that knife stuff. Okay, here we are down at the old stump top with the Schrade SCH003, and I'm going to try to be reasonable with this thing. There's no sense of batoning. It's a folding knife. Does have a pretty good edge on it. Let's see if it'll shave some hair. I don't know if it will or not. Doesn't look like a hair shaver, but I guess I was sort of wrong. Not quite razor sharp, but it definitely got some hair off of there, so pretty good there. Straight out of the box, they did a pretty good job on this grind. But first, let's try cutting some cardboard and just see how well it does. So we got a piece off there. We'll just see if we can it really does a pretty good job of cutting this cardboard. I know there's no possible way that I can actually just show you that and you can see how easy it cuts, but we'll just try to see if I can give you a little bit of an idea there, how thin to cut that cardboard. I don't know if that means anything to you or not, but I can tell you it went through that cardboard really nicely. Next, I've got a piece of seatbelt material here. It could be something you might have to use a knife for cutting yourself out of a seatbelt or whatever. Always good to know that your knife will do that, just in case. So we'll go ahead and I'm going to pull this thing up kind of tight, put some tension on it. So it just slices across that way. Let's try it from the side here. Not bad. If we put it down here, you can also see another example of cutting it. See what it does to the tip, and pretty good. So not bad at all, actually. You also might have this in your pocket when you really need to do something a little more woodsy like. So I've got a piece of poplar here I split out for another video, and we're just gonna, you know, I can't hardly do a knife review without making some curls, so we're gonna try that and see how well this thing works. And oh man, it is like literally like butter. This thing has got such a good edge on it. You can almost read through these things, they're so thin. We're gonna go ahead and carve a few out here for you, and then we'll see what we can do. What I might do, just because I'm feeling a little bit silly, might just go ahead and try a technique I heard about. So let the pressure off the lock. Let's just see what we got here now. Let me give you a close-up. Let's do a little tougher carving now. Okay, so really absolutely no hot spots here. Even that, I could feel it in my hand, but it wasn't hurting me at all. What really did hurt me was that little knot right there. Kind of hurt, but that didn't, so that's a good thing. You know where we're going next, right? So I don't think this thing has a very sharp spine. We're going to see what we can do. Well, once again, maybe I'm wrong. Let's see what happens. Oh, looky there. We finally got it. Okay, that was some of the practical testing of the Schrade SCH003. Now you may know that in addition to the practical testing station here at Survival on Purpose Worldwide Headquarters, we maintain a state-of-the-art scientific testing facility also. And one of the things we like to test on at least every fixed blade is the balance of the knife. And to do so, we use the old balance, orientation, and rotational device back there behind me. However, when it comes to folding knives, the testing facility as is just not very good. And a while back, I had a modification that was suggested by Indian Prepper 24/7, and I had that working pretty well, but it did not weather the outdoor conditions here at the testing laboratory very well. So I got to work on a new one. So we're not going to damage and abuse this knife. We already went above and beyond what I think you should do with a folder. I mean, we even batoned a little bit with it. So, but very comfortable knife. Just works very, very well. And when Chuck Norris says more cowbell, he means it. So final thoughts about the knife. I gotta say, overall, I really like it. If there's any dings I'd make about it, it's just the fact that I think one thing Schrade could do to improve this knife would be to make the pocket clip ambidextrous. And I don't know why they don't do that. It's just a simple matter of drilling a couple more holes here, and you can swap this around. But I'm right-handed, that doesn't bother me too much, but you might be left-handed and it can be a big deal to you. Everything else on this knife is ambidextrous except the pocket clip, and it would just take 2 more threaded holes here, and I think that would do it. If they really want to make me happy, they could put them down here too, so we could have a tip-up carry, because you know I prefer tip-up carry. But all in all, for 16 bucks, it's a really good all-around knife. This would be something you could throw in a go bag. You could throw it in your truck, in your car. You could throw it in your pocket. Just if something happens to it, you lose it, you're not going to be out a whole pile of money. But I think it'd be a very capable blade for an all-around, just kind of a general purpose folding knife. So once again, thanks to the folks at Schrade for sending me this so I can show it to you. As always, thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. I put out a new video every Friday, a Schrade Saturday video every Saturday, and sometimes a couple of random videos throughout the week. You can check out another one right here, and if you haven't subscribed, you can fix that by clicking right down here. So once again, my name is Brian. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.